you.
We're just meeting for the first time.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
You speak a little English?
A little bit, but sometimes I miss my words, so you're gonna help me.
Perfect.
And thank you for that.
So you live in Paris?
Yeah.
And you're an actress. You're a working actor, professional actor?
Yeah, I'm directing, writing, and sometimes I'm playing an actress.
Well, what led you to direct this movie? Like, what was the story behind it?
I wanted to write a movie for my grandmother because I was very, very close to her, and she got sick, and I took care of her for a long moment. And when she was gone, I wanted to write something about her so everybody could know her. And I was wondering what I want to say about her because nobody knows her, so it's gonna be not interesting. And then I thought, okay, the end of her life was not what I wanted for her, and I want to rewrite this end of life and to do something better for her. And what would happen if she could decide, and this is the movie.
That's really beautiful.
Thanks.
We don't need to do this in French, do we?
No.
Okay, good. So the cast. I'm not familiar with French cinema. I mean, have you worked with these actors? Do you know them? Like, how did you find them? What's the story?
So Hélène Vincent, who's playing Marie, the main character, it's a very well-known actress in France. She's made a lot of movies, and she was the first person I contacted 7 years before the shooting of the movie because it was so long to find the money to make that film. So I called her, I didn't know her, and I was like, okay, I have a script for you. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And then she said yes, and she waited 7 years. So that was crazy because each year she would call me and say, okay, what's up? And I was like, no, not now, we don't have the money. And then there was COVID and a lot of things happened, and she was like, okay, don't worry, one day we're gonna do it. And even when I didn't believe in it, she was the one who was believing in it. So that was crazy. The guy who's playing Rudy, he's very known in France too because he made a really famous comedy called Les Tuches, which is a movie about a family who it's a really banger in France, like big box office. So in my first years after school, after cinema school, I was an assistant director, and I met him on a movie, and so I was really young, and I would say to him, one day I'm gonna make a movie and I'm gonna call you, and he was like, yeah. And then 10 years later, I called him, and I was like, okay, I have a movie, and he said, okay, I'm gonna do it. So that's a cool story, and actually him and Hélène know each other, so they were really happy to work again together. And David, sorry, it's long, but no, I'm gonna. David is a great actor. He made a TV show in France on Canal+, very cool TV show, and I discovered him on that TV show, and I called him, he said yes, and the only one who I didn't call was Juliette, who's doing Anna. It was very complicated for me to choose someone because I wanted someone who kind of looked like me, but not in a physical way, but who would remind me of myself when I was a teenager. And so I saw 40 girls, 45 teenagers in casting, and she was the one who was like, wow, it was her. And I'm so happy that I have this cast. I love them, and I think without them, the movie, of course, won't be this movie. So I'm lucky.
It's fantastic. The chemistry is amazing between the actors. When I make movies, my directing partner and I, Anna, we on almost every movie we take the cast out in prep to go bowling. We go bowling, and we try to create a situation just like in the movie, where it's just like it's an activity where we can do things, we can have fun, we can talk between bowling and laugh and just have a good time. It's sort of like a good bonding experience, and it's like you've got the actual scene in the movie. What kind of things did you do for rehearsal? Did you do traditional rehearsal, or did you just get to know them and put them in a room together?
So actually we didn't have time for rehearsal, so it was like really, really short shooting. We shoot the movie in 23 or 24 days, so it was kind of a hurry, and we didn't have that much money, so not much money for rehearsals. So I was very scared about that, about the fact that I need this chemistry between them, but how it's gonna happen if they don't meet each other before. And so I told you I had this lucky chance that Pierre and Hélène know already each other, and they like each other, so it's cool. But no, we didn't have any time all together before, so we just came on the first scene, on first day of shooting, and I was like praying for everybody to get along. And I think what happened is that all the crew and all the cast, they had in mind the importance of that movie for me, for my grandmother, and what it would mean to me to tell this story. So I think everybody had that in mind. So it just happened. Like the chemistry was there between everybody, not just the cast, and that was a crazy adventure to live.
Yeah, and the rat chemistry as well.
For the anecdotes. On dit une anecdote, oui.
Oh, anecdote.
Anecdote, for the anecdote. The rat, in an old version of the script, was a cat. And we didn't have money, so I don't know why a rat is cheaper than a cat. I don't know, actually, but at some point someone told me, okay, we can't have a cat, it's too complicated, we're never gonna find 3 or 4 cats who look the same, because you have to have a lot of animals to take care of them, you know. So I was like, okay, but this character has a cat, and this is a characterization of Rudy, so how am I gonna do? And my co-writer, Martin, who is very crazy sometimes, said, okay, maybe if it's a rat. I was like, no. I was like, that's no. And he was like, yeah, but it's funny, you know. The characterization of that character is crazy with the rat. I was like, I don't know. And why is it cheaper? And they were like, because it's easy to find 5 rats who look the same. I was like, okay, and you don't, comment on dit dresser?
Tame them. Tame them.
Tame them. Okay, so you don't have to tame a rat like you. Okay, so we had a rat, and now when I look at the movie, I'm like, this was the best idea ever, because it's so much more original than a cat actually. But the rat was really well treated on that shooting, on that movie. Don't worry, and he bites me actually, so I was mistreated.
You were bitten?
Yeah. But it's okay. I'm alive.
You've survived, right?
Yeah.
So this is a road picture, right? And there's like a tradition of road movies that come to mind when I watch a movie like this, Little Miss Sunshine, or Vacation, or the iconic film Mississippi Grind. That I made that one.
Oh wow.
Could have been not as iconic as it is in my mind. But were there any movies, road trip films that you looked at, or any movies in general that helped you with the storytelling and visual style?
Of course, but you said it, Little Miss Sunshine was obviously the main reference. You guys in America are so good at road movies. We in France are so like, wow, this is so complicated. This is complicated because this is a genre that, you know, sometimes it gets boring because you have to go to a point A to a point B, and you have to create like some sort of obstacles, wow, we have the same words actually. Obstacles, and sometimes challenges, and sometimes it's not very interesting. So I was like, how Little Miss Sunshine is so nice, like why are you so moved and you laugh, and I think it's because it's a character movie, like you want to follow those characters, you want to know what's gonna happen to them, and the story is here, but yeah, it's between them that it's interesting. So I wanted to do that, and this is why we wrote. So it was not by choice, but we wrote for 7 years. So we had the time to know our characters and to make them precise. So Little Miss Sunshine was a big reference to me, and the only one actually. As a road movie. And your movie.
Clearly mine, that's the obvious
I'm
one.
sorry, I was forgetting yours.
You touched on this before, but like you've got this great balance of comedy and then really heavy subject matter, dramatic material. Is that something you were conscious of throughout, or did you talk to the actors about that balance, or is it just sort of something instinctual or organic that comes out?
This is something we really wanted, actually, with my co-writer, because my grandmother, she taught me something. She was like laughing about everything, and the things that were really like bad, like death, like illness, she wanted to laugh about that, and I was educated like this, so I wanted to take all of those subjects that are taboo and authorize the public to laugh at it. And so at the very beginning we wanted to make some sad scenes and then a joke inside the scene, and you're gonna cry, and then you're gonna see the bowling shoes, and you're gonna. I wanted I wanted to tell the public that you can be really sad and laugh at the same time, because this is what happens in life. Like when somebody dies or is ill and you're going to the hospital, sometimes you have a crazy laugh waiting in the corridor, or sometimes you laugh at a cemetery, or this is life. So this is, I wanted this precisely.
And the visual, there's a great shot towards the end of this, like a curtain blowing in a breeze with the sun underneath it. Like, is that something you're just on set and you see and you shoot, or is that you shot list? How are you preparing for the day of your very short shooting schedule?
I would love to say that, we had that idea on the day, but no, I was like so scared of that shooting because that was my first, and because we had so much, si peu de temps.
So little time,
thank you, to make it, that I was over-preparing the thing. So each shot was prepared and was we had a timing for each thing that we did. There was no improvisation for the actors, because the only scenes were not very. I mean, they were prepared, but it was not like timed and organized precisely. Is the bullying and the Monopoly at the end, because I wanted a spontaneous thing. So I would roll the camera and set the direction to the actors, but just go with it and make jokes and find what you want. So I could rest, and I can have a nap. No, that's not true. But that was prepared. But I hope on my next movie I can do this kind of things. I go on set and say, if we could do this, and can we do that? We have time. We have so much time and so much money. I don't know what to do with it.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Okay, that's okay.
How big it is. The van, the ritual of lighting the van on fire, is that a real thing? Does people do that? Is it a French thing? I've never seen that, but you could have invented it, and I believe it either way.
This is a real thing, actually. This is a tradition, c'est une tradition gitane, gypsy.
Yeah, the gypsy
tradition. And so, it really exists, and they do that. And I thought it was very, very cinematographic. And actually, I spent some holidays, 5 years before the movie, with a friend who has gypsy friends, and I met them in this community for the first time. And my grandmother was sick, so I was talking about her to them, and they said, okay, we, the gypsy community, we take care of the old people. We don't put them in hospitals. There is a big respect to the older, and when they die, we make not a party, but a very happy celebration with a lot of spirituality. And I thought that was really inspirational and very moving, so I wanted to put that in my movie.
In the fireworks as well, or is that special for you?
No, that's special. No, this is because actually, when my grandmother was talking to me about my grandfather, that I never knew him, he would be in love with fireworks. So my dad grew up looking at fireworks with his dad, and they would try to do fireworks at home. This kind of thing. So I thought it was really funny to put that in my movie, to put a character who was scared about fireworks, and at the end of the movie was liberated with that. And it's kind of the same with this, and with the fact of letting go of his mother. He was afraid of it, and now he's still afraid of it, but he can face it.
Your English is excellent.
Sorry, no, I would like to be better by English.
No, not necessary. Okay, so let's play a little game here. So I'm a movie studio, and I'm like, hey, I like this movie. I want to make an American remake.
Okay, yes. That's the end of the game. that would be.
You win. I mean, there seems like there's a tradition of this happening, and they're often not as good as the original.
Yeah.
Right? So
I would do it.
you would do, of course, you would do it. But
Yeah.
like, you know, how do you? This is
How do I-
hypothetical, so it's a silly question. But I guess the answer is you would do it, and you would.
Yeah. No, actually, it would be a dream. Like some movies are not good for a remake, and I think this one in America would be amazing because the road movie here would be like perfect. But I think I have to check a little bit because I think in some states in America you can have access to assisted suicide. So I think we should wonder how to tell this story here with your culture and your laws and everything.
That would be a great challenge for you to have.
Yeah, but I can do it.
Who's your cast? Who's your American?
Oh, this is funny that you asked that because I just sent a message to my dad during the movie with you all guys in your back. And I was sending a picture like my movie in America. This is crazy, I can't believe it. And he was like, I'm so proud of you. Next you're gonna do it in America. And he said, Timothée Chalamet. He said, Brian Fraser as a dad. And he said, Suzanne Sarandon as a mother. I was like, she's young, no? She's too young to do that. Suzanne Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon.
Sarandon, sorry. And so this is funny you asked me that because my dad has already do the cast himself, so that's good.
Perfect. That's perfect cast. I have to check. I've never done this before. I wrote some things down. I think you covered a lot of the things I had here.
Do you have a question?
Yeah. Do we do audience questions here or?
Yeah.
Congratulations on the film.
Thanks.
It's wonderful. I'm curious about the writing process for your flawed hero, the caretaker. He's so sweet to us, you know, as we experience him. And since you told us that you started with your grandmother, can you tell us a bit about how you brought that role into life?
Yeah. The role of the character of Rudy actually is inspired by someone who took care of my grandmother, who was a woman, and she was like so important to her at that moment of her life. And she was a stranger to us, which was crazy because in like 6 months she became family. And so I was like, yeah, I need to put that job in some lines because it's a really important job, and they do stuff that we can't do with our family sometimes, really take care like when someone is sick, and yeah, I wanted him to be a guy because I'm a feminist, but I thought it was better and funnier if it was a boy, and I wanted to have that opposition between Bruno, who is in the incapacity to take care of his mom, and not because he doesn't want to, but because he's too afraid of it, and to Rudy, who is it's his job, and which is fun about this character. I think it's that he thinks he's bad. He thinks he's the worst caregiver ever, and for her, he's the best. And yeah, I really wanted to show that sometimes you're not adapted for a lot of things, but if you're adapted to one thing, it could be the job of your life, and he's changing the life of Marie. So yeah, I love this character actually.
Another question?
Do you want my mic?
I had a question.
Wow, you have a big voice.
Yeah,
Cool.
a wonderful movie. I thought it was a great movie.
Thank you.
I thought it was very interesting, the bowling shoes.
Yeah.
And what made you think of the bowling shoes in the bowling alley, and then the bowling shoes in the hospital room of Marie, and then the bowling shoes when they were walking down the street? What brought that about? It was very comical, very fun.
I think we just, in the writing process, we just said, okay, it would be funny that in real life, if something like that happened, if your daughter is is running away and you have to follow her. You gotta go as soon as possible. You're not gonna go to the cashier and say I want my shoes back, and you're just leaving. And so we were like, okay, this is funny, but we don't want to put it in words. Like, we don't want them to talk about that. We don't want to have a scene where they say, it's funny. Actually, we had that guy who said nice shoes, but this is the only thing. And yeah, we thought that with this kind of details, we could authorize you to have a smile at some really hard moments. And yeah, this is just a funny idea that we decided to keep going all along the way. And we didn't film the shoes like doing a big plan, big zoom on it. We wanted to be like little touch up those shoes, like you can see it, or sometimes people don't see it. So if you see it, it's cool.
Any other questions? In front here?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
C'était trop bien.
Ah, merci.
So I know that it takes such a long time, and you said like 8 years, so I don't want to put any pressure or anything like this, but I'm just wondering, like before you adapt this movie for the US, if you have something else in store for us for the next few years?
Yeah, actually, I'm writing my second movie, and hopefully I'm gonna shoot it in June, so just next summer. But I have to write. Like, my producer is like, yeah, you want to shoot in June, but you have to write. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna write it. So yeah, we are writing. It's but hopefully because thanks to this movie, I hope that we're gonna make on va mettre moins de temps. On va mettre moins de temps.
I hope that it's not going to take as long.
Yeah, not as long as yeah. Less time to do it. I mean, not 7 years. So and this movie actually it was released in France in March, and the welcoming was like so nice. We had a lot of people who had seen it. So now maybe it's gonna be easier for me to do the next one. So yeah, thanks. Sometimes it's just complicated to say simple things. I don't know why.
Anybody else? In the back, in the way back there, yeah?
Ah, we see. Wait. Sorry, yes?
Okay. Doctor.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something after you. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. I noticed you didn't include the death of Marie. I was wondering if you ever pondered adding the death scenes. A lot of actors like to do, a dramatic death. I was wondering if you ever considered that, and if you did, why you decided not to do it.
This is a good question. Thank you. So in the script, there was a scene where we could see Marie dying, and it was really hard, like to write, and hard, like to imagine. And so like a week before the shoot of this scene, I had big doubts. I was like, this is not the movie. This is not the movie that I made. This is a movie about a family. And yes, it's a movie about assisted suicide, but it's not a documentary. And I don't think I need to show that so people get emotional. So I was doubting, and my co-writer, who is a friend, told me, you have to shoot it, and then you're gonna put it in editing or not. And I was like, no, I have to decide before. Because I want to be that kind of director. I want to know. I want to know before. And he was like, no. My producer was like, do it, do both of them. Do with the dying of Marie and without it. And I was like, no, I have to decide. And so the day before, I decided not to shoot it. And I was pretty sure of my decision, because I wanted to leave Marie the way you leave her in the movie, like with bright and with in a luminous way. And I think this is what I wanted to tell, that with that choice, she could live this life in a smile, in a laugh, and that was all the movie was about. So yeah. And yes, you told me something really important, is that in France, the law about assisted suicide this is illegal to do that in France. So when that movie came out, it was still illegal, and it's still illegal now, but a lot of persons in France are fighting for this law to exist, to change. Thank you. And so yeah, it was kind of a big topic, big society topic when it came out. It's a topic since 10 years and more, but I really wanted to, I'm for the existence of this law, because I think the experience I had with my grandmother, so I didn't travel to Switzerland with my grandmother. Actually, my grandmother had a really sad end of life, and this is why I wrote that. And so yeah, it was really important to me to show a movie that could talk about that heavy subject, but in a comedy way, and so a lot of people could see it, and it's not too hard to see, and it's not too heavy and too sad, and yeah, I think I got really récompensée.
I was
Rewarded?
rewarded, yes.
I was rewarded because a lot of people saw that movie, a lot of people laughed at that movie in France, and I had the occasion to talk with people at the end of screenings, and it was like so interesting, and people were like, okay, I'm against this law, I'm against this, but I loved your movie, and so I'm gonna come home and maybe I'm gonna think about it, maybe I'm not gonna change my mind, but yeah, this made me thinking another way, and I was like, this is one battle winning. It's win for me. Wow. Please rap. Okay.
He reads English as well. Well, that was great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you very much.